Hello, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20. And today, you saw me hanging out with the cowboy. Well, now I'm hanging out with the mechanic. And we're going to talk keto and an announcement that he has to make and all kinds of good stuff. Pet peeves, what works for us, and where we are today. So, welcome, Richard, the keto mechanic.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. So here we are. Now, this is the first time I've launched it. So I'm really depending on, thank you, Keto Mad, Mike, for doing the tutorial to set us up. So, Richard, tell us how you got here. And I found you by accident, which is like how I found keto, actually, those things that are turning points in our lives. And I found you and I said, this guy believes in the same thing that I believe in, a stricter keto. No surrounding la la la. So tell me how you got to keto.
I have been low carb for years and years and years, but how I got to keto was I actually got hurt overseas in Iraq and I kind of gave up on life. I gained a bunch of weight, anxiety, PTSD, depression started taking the best of me, and I didn't care anymore. I just basically gave up, and thoughts of harming myself and everything else were coming into my head because here I am, this veteran that's in the world trying to make it, and I didn't know how. I didn't succeed in any relationships that I was trying. My life was turned upside down, and I thought, you know what, let's go to the gym. And I went to the gym and I started thinking about my low carb days, and I was like, can I make it better than just low carb? Can I do better than that? Can I really tie my life into a very good nutritional like aspect and just get myself back together? And I found keto and I love it. It's changed my life. I've lost, I think, I'm back down to my fasting weight, so I'm right at about 130 pounds down. I'm on no PTSD medication, no pre-diabetic state. My blood pressure's all down to normal. My cholesterol, my lipid panels are phenomenal. So it's just changed my life.
That is awesome. Down 130 pounds. Wow. And it sounds like you have so many non-scale victories, which in keto is something that I always emphasize. I work a lot with older women like me. And, sometimes we have to focus on that because the whoosh weight loss, suddenly we're, 25 pounds lighter in 3 days isn't going to happen. And so it's a nice slog. And I call us snowflakes, turtles, and pickles. And for the older woman, getting to feel better, because a lot of us, we really aren't looked at a lot in our keto journey. And the huge keto wave that we're in right now is more what you see a lot more young people doing it. And so that's how I've captured this niche of older women because nobody's really representing us. And so it just seems to work. And, I can see that you have your own following too. And going through the trauma and the PTSD and all of that you went through, those that have gone through that and gained the weight from the depression, either the pills or just the eating and what am I going to do with myself? Because coming back sometimes is it just compounds your PTSD, right? Adjusting to a world that when you left, and then you saw the stuff that you had to see, and then coming back, it's got to be an experience that just, it's so personal. And I enjoyed hearing that part. I didn't realize that part about you, Richard.
Well, I think the biggest thing that people think is that it's, that you just, if you go keto, you can only do it for a short period of time and that's it. And that's the biggest misconception that I see is you can do it long term. You can do it for the rest of your life. It's very safe. It's very healthy. It's given me everything that I've asked for, and it's very sustainable. And my doctor that was so skeptical before about it is now like, wow, dude, you're doing phenomenal. Like, even though I didn't recommend keto to you and I was scared of it, I think maybe you should continue doing it because it's just done you wonders and wonders of good. So keep it up.
And it sounds like it's your head as well as your physical body that improved from it. And it I guess we have to educate our healthcare providers or sick care providers. And it sounds like you did that, and it's wonderful to have the support of your doctor with this. And so tell me what you eat in a day on a keto day.
Most days I intermittent fast or I have one meal a day. I've gotten to the point now where I'm not reliant on food to keep me going throughout the day because I eat the healthier fats and it just really controls my appetite. And as I progress, which I still continue to progress, I find that my meals have went from needing like tons of variety of different things to now I'm in this small little group of safe. I don't need the junk. I don't need the processed. I don't need anything. I need my good vegetables, my good fats, my good meats. And I might eat once a day, and it might be a huge, abundant meal of like some vegetables, some meat, and really good healthy fats and stuff with it. My meat's cooked in butter and stuff like that. But I don't. I eat maybe twice a day sometimes, and I just really enjoy the food, avocados and steaks and eggs and bacon, and I might have my butter coffee sometimes, but very rarely do I do that. Just basic, some people would call boring stuff, but it seems that that has worked the best for me.
This is where you and I are totally identical. Um, when I look at my food plan, and usually it's the big bowl of lettuces without anything else in it except usually 4 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons of macadamia nut oil, and two of EVU. And then I'll have a portion of meat, and it's anywhere from 4 to 6 ounces. And and then like asparagus. I love asparagus, one, because I love asparagus, and two, because it's a prebiotic, which is what feeds the probiotics in my stomach. And although I do take a handful of supplements every day, I prefer to get my nutrition from what I'm eating. And so for me, it just works that way. And I think you and I are also on the same page about um, cheating or treating. Tell me what your thoughts are, or tell my audience what your thoughts are.
I don't believe in a lot of the keto treats, honestly, the snacks and stuff like that. I feel like I was talking to a guy yesterday. I don't know if you caught my video, but he's a homesteader, and he went like severely, like in depth. Almost got me in trouble at work because I was so fascinated in what this guy was saying. Um, and my boss is looking at me like, "Are you going to get back on the job?" And I'm thinking to myself, "Heck no!" Like I'm loving this information this guy's like educating me on. And he said, "Rich, no matter what you do, no matter what keto treat, keto product, or anything it is that comes out, the snacks and stuff, you don't understand. Like, there's nothing anymore that's really 100% organic unless you're doing it yourself. You have to have that mindset. So for you to want to go buy keto treats and stuff like that, you have to know the history of these people. They're selling non-GMO organic products, but the pesticides that get sprayed on the peanuts, the stuff that gets sprayed on the flax, how it's milled and processed and refined and all this other stuff just to make this. I'd rather have my steak and my broccoli at night and my butter and my stuff. I'm sorry. It's just, I don't want to have to use that as a crutch. It's something that I've found that I take people off of that stuff and they start losing weight again. They start getting healthier again. They start feeling healthy again. And I know that's not for everybody. That's my philosophy and I will not change. I've seen it too long. I've been doing this too long and I don't jump on that bandwagon of treats and stuff. When it comes to cheating, here's where it can be a double-edged sword. I don't like cheating. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think that there's an excuse out there that can justify not being able to go somewhere and stay keto, because everywhere that I've went, and that may come with time, just like you've been doing this for a while, that may come with time for people to learn this stuff and see this from people like me and you. But what I've found is I can go anywhere, to any restaurant, whether it's Chinese, whether it's a steak restaurant, and I can find something keto. I could, even as nasty as it is, I could go to Taco Bell with somebody and say, you know what, I don't want anything there. Give me a bowl of lettuce. Throw some vegetables in there if you got them or whatever. And that's it. I mean, and even though it's not probably real lettuce, I could still partake in that event and not feel left out. As silly as that sounds, it can be done. And then here's the double-edged part. my joints severely hurt. I have tons of arthritis, and keto has made that a lot better. Like I can go daily without pain, but there are every few months where my joints really inflame, and keto or nothing can do it. Take care of it. Pills don't take care of it. And I started listening to one of Thomas DeLauer's videos one day, and he said he ends up feeling the same way sometimes from the years of impact training and heavy weight training and stuff like that. He's hurt himself, and he'll have not simple carbs. He'll have a little bit of extra complex carbs on those days to kind of replenish some of the glucose, and it'll help with the pain and stuff in his joints. Now, that's where we may differ. I'm not sure, but on those days, every 2 to 3, maybe 4 months, I will get that pain that he's talking about. I will feel that achiness for days, and then I know at that point, okay, out come a little bit of the sweet potatoes, out come some of the higher glycemic stuff, but not really, and then I'm right back off of it again and right back keto. I don't really believe in cheating.
I know. I don't either, and I hear you on your take. Well, I have to tell you, I went to my meeting early this morning and I listened to your little visit with the homesteader, and I'm sitting there thinking the exact same thing your boss must have been thinking, that how long are you going to talk to this guy? Is this your lunch break or something? But he sounds so absolutely fascinating, and I do hope you do a visit with him and maybe he'd do an interview with you. I mean, this man has it down, and I just loved his whole philosophy too. And I did find a whole set of videos about a man so similar to him. I'd be surprised if it wasn't him. And he had, how to be your own organic farmer or something like that, or how to have grass-fed beef. Anyway, it was a fascinating sort of thing, just like the gentleman you were talking to. And I could see why you were enchanted with what he was saying. And it's so wonderful to meet somebody face to face that shares a lot of the same, just from the gut and the heart views that you have. And I don't go out to eat. We don't go out to eat at all. We do our OMAD around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And Greg is not keto, but he definitely does the OMAD along with me. And then, so when I go shopping, we spend a lot of money on good stuff, but we're not going out to eat. But I do have those little baby food glass jars with the spill-proof lids that I talk about. And if I do go someplace, I'm going to have my packets of Pure for coffee. I'm going to have my coconut oil or my EVU and my macadamia nut oil. I'm going to have my little supplies that I go with. So even like you said, if you're at Taco Bell and I said, just give me a bowl of your iceberg lettuce, I could put those healthy oils on it and get by. I might even ask, well, I don't think I'd ask for taco meat because it probably has all kinds of junk and stuff in it. But like being resourceful as a keto person, and I equate it to being a diabetic. I wouldn't go to somebody's house or restaurant and say, I need my insulin, I need my needle, I need my glucometer. I wouldn't go expecting them to take care of me. So you have to be resourceful and take care of yourself. You don't have to, but then, but you've been doing what you're doing so long that, me, that you wouldn't have that expectation. And so that's, to me, the sort of new to keto person that you and I must meet. It's like, well, I got there and they didn't have this and I didn't have that. And it's like, well, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. If you're going to visit somebody for the weekend, have your little packet of foods and things that you'll need. And so you won't be a burden on the hostess or anything else. And you won't be getting off of your keto food plan because, they didn't have it. So I had those other things. No, that's what I beg people. So anyway, we kind of killed it with that junk food thing right there. You have a special announcement that you want to make, and so take the floor and tell us what you're going to be doing. It's kind of exciting.
So this is I'm playing with fire here. I was metabolically destroyed. The more I ate vegetables, the more I ate fruits, the more I actually had internal problems. And I've been keto for so long now that I feel like For the most part, I'm probably healed. I don't know that for sure. And there's always that question mark of, am I healed? And is doing a vegan style experiment healthier than keto? I want to find out. I want to show people the results before, I want to show them after, and I want to take them through at least 30 days of it so they can see for themselves and they can be the judge whether or not it's for them, whether the information that's put out is correct. And we won't talk too much about it because I got to do it first and I got to prepare for it. But I'm going to do veganism for at least 30 days and then show people.
I think that that's excellent. And I think that you will offer a lot to the keto community that's wondering, and I think it was Dr. Hyman or maybe another one of the doctors. And he says, well, I'm a vegetarian except for the 4 ounces of meat that I have every day. And kind of makes me laugh because in my way of thinking, has dairy, has, cheese or heavy whipping cream, whereas a vegan doesn't have eggs or anything. Going to be like egg-free, dairy-free, all of that, having only ghee or things like that, or are you going to be allowing a little bit of dairy and eggs?
Oh no, I'm going to do it just like they tout. I'm going to do it by the book, hardcore 30-day veganism. And there's going to be no exceptions. I'm going to find the strictest program that I could follow. I've already started looking at different types of meal plans and stuff where somebody can't come back at me and say, you didn't do that correctly. No, here's the protocol I followed, and here's my tracking day by day. Here's your information. And I'm going to do exactly no animal products at all.
Wow. So you will be tracking while you do this?
Daily.
Okay, that's excellent. And, I support you and I understand. I've been keto strict enough, long enough to understand why you want to do this, just so you can say it. And it will be a great resource for people that, get a little restless doing keto and they've had their successes and they just want to see. They have that curiosity, just like you do. I so respect it. And it's a great place to send people to watch your journey and have it posted on YouTube as a keto person. So I think it's great with the 30 days. I know that somebody that I'm working with wants to do an egg fast. I have a few different videos that I lead them to so they can see what somebody else's homework came up with. And I think that that's where you'll be such an asset to this community, because I think that we all have a curiosity about sometimes what's next. And the fact that you're doing it as an experiment and you're not leaving the keto family, I think that that makes it really wonderful. And I think that there will be so much value in that.
I'm a meat eater. I love fat. I love meat. Vegetables is like one of those things where, okay, I enjoy them ish, but it's not so much my focus. I love fat and I love meat. And if I can eat it whenever I want, not necessarily whenever I want, but if I can eat it and not have to worry about it, then I'm okay with that. But I feel like I want to try this and I want to see how I've healed and I want to see what the results are.
Yeah, I think that that's great. So as we get towards the end of this video, one of the things that I'd love to do is next time we have a little chat, Sarah and the mechanic, I'd love for you to host it. And at that point, you will be into your vegan experiment. And so you'll have a lot to offer on what you've learned thus far. And I do look forward to that next video. But is there anything that you need to say to here that you want to say now?
I think one of the things that me and you were going to talk about is that we probably should talk about so new people can see is the no matter what's.
Absolutely. I talk about the No Matter What Club, NMWC, and things that just I won't go near. It's like the third rail to me. And so one of the things is that I look to people, either the doctors that do a lot of videos or people that are further down the keto path than me. And I see what they do, and there's always a next. And perhaps when I began keto, um, under 20, there were things that I still allowed that I wouldn't, no matter what, have today. And I've gotten cleaner and more simple. My rotation of foods is smaller, and I'm much more comfortable with that. And so, my no matter what club is really that I've simplified. How about you?
Same thing, same exact path. It's gotten smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's the same way for me. And I'm starting to. I had my vices and things that I know necessarily weren't good for me, and I slowly stepped away from them. And then all of a sudden, I looked at myself one day and said, "Look, I'm making excuses for having all these things that I shouldn't have. Just quit having them." And I know everybody can't have that mindset. I'm military, so in my mind, if I tell myself not to do it, I'm not going to do it. And that's just built into me now. That's 4.5 years of having somebody pound something into your head, like if you want to do it, you will do it. That's just the bottom line. There's no. And I got away from everything. And then a couple videos back, I was talking about having a diet soda from time to time. Now I've completely cut that out now. I mean, it's to the point where I know that I just want food. I want good, nutritious food that's going to nourish my body and not just feed me, like that homesteader said, not just feed me. I want to nourish myself. And that's where I'm at. The group is really small now, and it's the same type of stuff, and I'm extremely happy with it.
Yeah, I'm so glad I found you, and probably from watching a few of your videos and reading the comments, I got that you're on a very similar path to me, and you have a discipline and strictness a lot like me that makes you. It's like you became a member of the no matter what club without, it's just part of your fabric. It's part of my fabric too. And um, as I've said to some people in the comments, is that all you have to do is start having your own channel. And if that doesn't clean up your act, right? Because I don't want to come back and say to this channel, I went out and I had, things I shouldn't. It's like we almost have a responsibility to our keto members, toe the line and show that it is possible. And I don't mind doing that. And I can tell you don't mind doing that at all either. And that's why I know your 30 days of being a vegan will be an incredible experience for those of us that are sitting around the stadium hearing about it, because I know that you have a no matter what about that as well. Just like I did Weight Watchers, 4 or 5 years ago when I was a Weight Watcher, or 5 or 6 years ago. And so, you will put as much into that as you put as much into your keto lifestyle too. So I can't wait till we can revisit this again and we can hear all about your vegan experiment. And so I think I've said everything I need to say. Have you?
I have. I have.
Okay.
Thank you. I
So
appreciate you bringing me on here.
me too. So what I'm going to do is stop the broadcast, and then it will be just you and me to kind of recap what we said. Okay. So
Okay.
this has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Richard and the mechanic, and it's been so much fun. And we will both see you the next time we do an interview together. Thanks so much for watching.